Okay, good morning, good day, good evening. Sorry about the quote unquote soon, starting soon there. Took a little bit longer than I would have liked, but okay. So, yesterday's stream was. How should I put this? It went in circles pretty much. So, yesterday I didn't really have much time, but this morning I took a step back and looked through my current implementation, and although I like a lot of it, some of it might have been a bit too complicated, like unnecessarily complicated. So I took the words "keep it simple" to heart, and that's what I'm gonna do today. So the gist of it, having interactors like this, interactors talking to each other, and with the overlord component animate entity, is what I'm gonna go with. So nothing has changed there. It's just going to be simplified a tiny bit. So I have a few steps here which will hopefully make that possible. And first of all, it's the introduction of an interactor with the sole purpose of handling focus. So I want to move a lot of the focus related stuff in animate entity and playable entity, which was, to be honest, kind of a mess anyway. So I want to move a lot of that functionality into its own interactor. Interactor focus is also going to, like in the future, this is going to handle a lot of animation related to focusing. So it might be eye movement or head movement and things like that. And when that is done, I'm gonna try and move information I did put up move information displayer out of entity here, and not too sure, but we're most definitely gonna make it work more with the focus, interactor focus. So these first three tasks are pretty much just get it to work as it was yesterday, but with an interactor focus in the mix. The next two are basically use this new UI to display possible actions. And then we have a little bit of a new stuff moving on to new stuff. So interactor dependency, way overcomplicated right now. It was made with the assumption that multiple interactors on one game object that multiple interactors for the same interactable could be on the same game object, and that is no longer the case because we want to simplify stuff today. And so, like when I say simplify interactor dependency, we're going to remove, instead of like having a list of interactors per interaction type, it's just going to be one single interactor. And when I say extend, we're going to go from right now interactor dependency just checks like it's only a check for state basically. So the dependency is state bound, but I want to extend that so it can be, for instance, like this interactor can only work if the interactor it's dependent upon is handling the same object as this interactor want to handle. And that's why we need this. So maybe And then we're gonna add events because we don't want to check all the time. So as soon as some interactor changes, it's gonna trigger an event that notifies whichever components are listening to it. And that way we can update the state. So it is very similar to a state machine in some ways. So that is the plan today. So first of all, aren't we all kids at heart, Cooler SK? Re-implement focus in entity utilizing interactor focus. So right now let's go and look at, so we have entity base class for anything non-static basically in the world. Cooler SK, I wish I wasn't. Nah, it's nice. Okay. And then we have animate entity, so that's an entity that can actually affect the game world around it, and playable entity, the name pretty much explains itself. This is an entity, like a subclass of animate entity, but this one is controlled by the player. Okay. So we have focus game object, change focus game object, and then we have the override versions of these. And something I especially don't like is this one here, change focused game object. We do something and then base change focus game object. So we jump up to the base class and then we go back here. I'm not a big fan of this type of flow in code. So if you ask me, the call to the base function should happen first or last. This just makes it a little bit more complicated to follow. Best case scenario would be to move most, if not all, of this into animate entity only with the interactor focus. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know if this is the exact order I want to do things as well, because I might want to do this one first actually, just get it out of the way. Or actually, yeah, I might want to do this one first, so the interactors gets a little bit simplified as well, and then add events to interactor. I think that's what I want to do. So this is what I'm talking about. Interactor dependency is currently this is the biggest culprit of the complexity here, that we're working with a list, which makes, like, if we don't have lists here, this isn't even necessary. Method, interactor dependency constraint, compare state. Yeah, we're gonna change this one quite a lot. So actually gonna start by doing this. think I want it as a class because we're gonna change some. We're gonna change the reference here. So a dependency, interactor dependency constraint. We're just gonna rename this one to type. Do like to have a none, but state based, and we're gonna start with interactor state available, or is in state, state processing, state unavailable. So interactor dependency type, interactor state, we don't care about this one anymore. We're going to change this one to dependency type and interaction type, or interactor type. So if we define an interactor dependency, we define it by the interactor type. So like interactor consume will be dependent on interactor pickup. So interactor type is going to be pickup. And in what way? Interactor consume for our character will only be able to trigger or work if interactor pickup is in the processing state, because that means that it's holding something. So if pickup is available, interactor consume will not work. If pickup is unavailable, interactor consume will not work. And I'm wondering, and also we need to have we're gonna keep it down here. Public interactor reference. D Sabbath, good morning. How are you doing today? And then it's a question of interactor dependency. Is fulfilled the word I want to go with here? D Sabbath, doing good, thanks. Nice. What about you? Yeah, same here. Got a little bit of a sickness running in the family, however, so I'm just biding my time, it feels like. But fingers crossed. Okay, so the question is, Do I want my interactor dependency to handle the functionality within itself, or do I basically want it to be public knowledge and let the interactor itself handle it? Ooh. I'm gonna go with the second option for now. So this one is just pretty much going to be a data holder, basically, but I don't know if that is such a good idea. Interactor dependency, because what worries me is, let's see, I want to introduce a dependency type of, so these are all three state-based. I want to introduce a dependency that is same interactable. Daylomus, what's up? Hey, I'm in class right now. If I get caught, it's all on you. Yeah, I got you, man. I will carry it. Good morning, Cypher. How are you doing today? So same interactable. This is like for the character, if he wants to consume something, he needs to hold it. So that's what this is gonna do. And if we then have a function within here that is fulfilled, then I'm gonna have to send in is fulfilled for it's gonna look like this. And although I like to keep the logic within here, like the dependency is its own little capsule or black box, we define it and then we can just ask it, is it fulfilled? Is it fulfilled? I'm okay with sending this one in, but it's not like I'm celebrating it, if that makes any sense. So might want to go with this for now. Daylominous, she said put it away. Okay, then you better put it away, man. And thank you. I'm gonna do my best to avoid all kind of bugs. Cooler SK, by the way, I probably already asked this, but did you do the elbows on character in fancy way from that tutorial or just grid mesh? Let's take a look. I did it in a pretty fancy way. I think I followed the tutorial, like the topology of the tutorial. I went with the same topology, I think. Let's see here, character base. Is this the one I want to do? Yeah, we have subdivision here, but let's... So I went with this pattern right here. I took his word for it. For like better deformation during animation. But I mean, a grid mesh would probably work as well, but a little bit more subdivided or with more resolution on the elbows. But yeah, I went this way, and I did the same for the knees. And I mean, I don't have any complaints related to the topology on the elbow and knee parts. They have been working just great. The only topology, like where I'm feeling that topology might need a bit of improvement is, but it might also be bone placement, at least for here, because I'm having a little bit of a problem with the bending at the shoulders. And I mean, that's a common problem with rigged characters. You have the shoulder problem. Some people fix it by blend shapes, I suppose. I don't want to go that route, I don't think. So, might clean it up with like some topology change or even bone placement change. I don't know. Cypher A, all good man, Knights. That's some nice topology. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. And also, I've been having a little bit of problem with it spot Botox. But yeah, small problems, but... What's up, Game Dev Rick? How are you doing today? Cooler SK, do you have pectoral to shoulder loop? Dude, what the fuck? You're talking another language here. Pectoral muscles. Ooh. I think my loops are just... I don't know exactly if I do. Do you have pectoral to shoulder loop? Let's see if someone has a good pectoral to shoulder loop topology. Oh, you're talking about this one? I don't have this. I don't think. This might actually be good. That might help a lot. Because person in tutorial was putting a lot of emphasis on it. Yeah, I might have missed it. Dude, this very nice input. I'm gonna write that up as a task to implement. Cypher, yeah, needs a couple more loops, I'd say, for denser areas. Yeah, my current approach has been just subdivision, or rely on subdivision, but yeah, we will see. This is not final, and I'm gonna add some things here. But yeah, that's the topology right now. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna add that task. So what? Pectoral to shoulder loop. Thank you for mentioning that, Cooler SK, by the way. I'm gonna write it up. Pectoral to shoulder loop on model. Gonna make an issue of it as well, like on GitHub, that is. Okay, beautiful. So is fulfilled for interactable, then just a simple switch. Because this interactable is probably not going to be used for most of the states, but yeah. Dependency type. Actually, we're going to do this as well. If interactor reference, if we don't have it, can I do it like this? Yes. Return true. So for some reason, if we have this interactor dependency that is dependent on another interactor, and we don't have the interactor reference, then we just want to return true, I think. And let's start with default. The default should be true. Doesn't really matter, I don't think. Case state available. And here we want to do return interactor reference dot is available, or is in state might be the better one. Then we can actually do this. Case interact state processing, case interactor state unavailable. No, I cannot. Never mind. Come on. Interactor reference. And then we have the new one, case interactor type, same interactable. And here I want to do if we don't have any, if interactable is null. Can I do this? If it's null, return true. Otherwise, return interactor reference dot, and this is where we need to introduce. So it's basically let's see, add processing interactable game object to interactor. This task might not have the best name, but it's basically okay. Let's see here. We do have a private list interactables. So this is going to be game object, nice. Yeah, this is going to be an interactable just. I want to name it like handled interactable or processed interactable or something of that kind. Interactable. Don't know. Processed interactable. Use a better name. Question mark. And public. Or actually, let's keep it private, but have is processing and let's see, I want to do is processing interactable, and here I want to do if interactor state is not equal to processing, return false. Otherwise, we're gonna have one more check. If interactable is equal to null, return true. Do this, yeah. Otherwise return might want to implement a compare method to interactable, but for now we're just gonna do it like processed interactable dot game object is equal to interactable dot game object. So interactor dependency, if we have same interactable, we actually check interactable is equal to null here. And let's just rename this to processing interactable. Question is, do I need this check out here? What do I want this one to return? So if processing interactable, does this interactor process this interactable? If interactable is so if the interactor state is not processing, it returns false. That's good. If interactable is null, it returns true. Yeah, it's processing something and we don't really care about what it is, so that might be okay. If it's not null, we check it like this. Okay, I think that's nice. Add processing interactable. Simplify interactor dependency. And actually extend. Although now I need to do re-implement or implement Okay, so we're gonna simplify this one quite a lot, I think. So interactor dependency types, interactor dependencies. Do I care about this one? Simplify, simplify, simplify. Yeah, I think I want this one, so it's interactor type. Has interactor dependencies and okay, so add and set, these are going to be way simpler, and here we don't need to do all, I don't think. Interactor dependencies are fulfilled, or maybe. Yeah, we're gonna simplify this quite a bit, but I just remembered another thing. So right now we keep this as a dictionary here in animate entity, and that makes it a whole lot quicker when we want to fetch interactors of a specific interaction type. We're gonna keep it. Okay, set interactor dependency interaction type interactors. So this was always under the assumption that we have multiple interactors and interaction types. So instead, we're gonna do this. Add interactor dependency, and here we have an interactor. Reference, I suppose. Get interactor dependency. If it's not equal to null, and here we want to do set interactor reference. A little bit simpler. Is in state, is processing, this one. So is available. Is fulfilled. This one takes an interactable. Is fulfilled for interactable. So I want to rename this like is available. It's pretty much going to be instead public bool is ready to process interactable. And here I probably want to do an extra check. Yeah. Interactable, or actually we're gonna do if interaction type is equal to or if they are not equal, return false. No, we will not be able to process this one here because they are not even the same type. But otherwise it's ready to process. We want to check if interactor state is equal to available, or like if it's not, then we return false. So if it's available, i.e. it's not unavailable or it's not currently processing anything, then we want to check interactor dependencies are fulfilled. Interactable is fulfilled for interactable. Interactive dependencies all. Yeah, so it's ready to process interactable. Here we just return is interactor dependencies are fulfilled for interactable. Nice. Okay, is in state is available. Although, let's see. Yeah. So if we just want to check a specific state, return although okay, so this is way nicer, way simpler. So by just making interactor dependencies only reference one interactor, we've simplified it quite a bit. Okay, so before I take this to a spin, I also want to, let's see if I can even do it now, add interactor dependency interactors. Yeah, it was called I renamed it with a reference. Okay, get available interactor for type. Is available. Get available. Might want to rename this one as well. Okay, but before I fix this and take it for a spin, I do want to yeah, this one is fixed. Yeah, before we do any changes here, I want to implement interactor focus, and I want to utilize this one here. Definitely. It's just a question also of how I'm going to handle this, but yeah. Interaction type focus. Okay, I like this. Although, so right now the only reason for this one being a virtual method instead of an abstract method is because of this debug log here. But yeah, I want to keep this simple, so I don't want to have to jump above here. So this one, it's not even going to happen for every interactor. So there will be interactions where the interactable doesn't know that the interactor is interacting with it. Like focus might not be the best example because it would allow for some nice behavior if something notices that it's being focused. But it's probably going to happen in another way anyway. I want to simplify this by making it abstract. And I'm going to listen to that feeling. Nice. Then we don't need to do this, but I do want my debug message, so we're gonna do and yeah, we're gonna have to implement that one there, but consume. Yeah. So what this one is going to set, so interact with interactable, and we want to check if if interactable is equal to null, then I want to do something. Null else, I think. So this is pretty much a reset. So first of all, base interactor state is equal to available. And base dot interact or processed. Ooh, did I actually set that one to private? Yeah, protected. So base dot processed interactable is equal to I'm gonna wait with that one. So this is probably where I want to handle interactive focus. Yeah, we want to do some type of unfocus here, but yeah. And base.interactor state is equal to interactor state processing. Is that the only thing I want to do right now? Maybe it is. Yeah, let's add one of these here as well. Okay, let's see if we can simplify this quite a lot now. So get available interactor for type. We want to wait with that one. Interact virtual. What's up, Eric Draven? How are you doing today? Okay, so my question here is, does animate entity even need... Oh, yeah, it does. Because I keep forgetting that animate entity, like, it will take orders from an AI brain as well as a... or NPC brain, maybe is the better word for it. As well as a playable character or a player. So I might want to keep this one here. Eric Draven, I'm fine. This popped up in my recommendations. Nice. Thank you, Google. I guess. And hope you enjoy. What's up, Samir Abdullah? Same. Okay, I'm gonna have to send a thank you card to Google. But yeah, so what we're doing here is just implementing we're implementing an interaction system for my creature collecting game. Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it. Okay, so I do want to keep interact here. And it's interact we want to bind when we bind functions here, like we've done previously, okay? Focused game object, animate entity. We're not going to keep it like that. We're going to do this instead. Let's see here, interactors. So we're gonna have a reference. We have interactors, and then we're gonna have protected interactor focus. This one is gonna be such a big part of interactors. We're gonna have a separate reference to it, or since we're working with a dictionary, I wonder if we might just fetch it from there. So a little bit like focus game object, change focus game object. The file line be looking curvy. Yeah, dev drop. It is. But I'm trying to get rid of it, I promise. I want to move all of these. I don't care about these functions. This one. And interactable. Interact. Dev drop, by the way, I'm learning JS, so I suppose you mean JavaScript. I have no experience. Is there any tips? I don't have any tips specific to JS because I haven't worked in it in a long time. Yeah, for Discord bots. Oh, nice. I haven't worked with JS in a long time. And I've never done Discord bots either. So unfortunately, no, I don't have any tips. But in general, just I get this question a lot, like general question like this. I'm having a hard time answering it. So I'm of the type that I love to build things. Cypher, just do it, yeah, basically. But I'm one of those that I love to build things, and I love to learn while building things I want to build. Like, I don't like to... I'm not the type that like finds a nice resource and just follow it. Like follows a tutorial to build something I don't want to build. Instead, I know what I want to build, and then I learn as I go. Maybe not the best tip, but like find a way where it's fun to learn, basically. Or as Cypher said, just do it. Okay, so change focused game object, focus game object. All of these I just wanna... I'm sorry I couldn't help more, dev drop. But yeah, it's basically boils down to we're here to have fun, right? So focus game object, change focus game object, etc, etc. I want to handle all of this in interactive focus instead, and that's why I want to redefine the interact a tiny bit. Oh, I think this is okay. So yesterday or this morning when I sat down and tried to plan this out and did some scribbles and whatnot, I got close to a system that like gets my heart pumping, and I think we're getting close to it as well. So I would like to make this a little bit more general, like if we can handle the focusing as any other interactor, that would be so nice. Okay, let's see. Cypher. Being honest too, I've struggled for years thinking I was too smooth-brained to learn to program. The fear, self-doubt. Now I'm doing it at work. Luckily given the space time to plod along, and I'm actually doing it and enjoying it. Fuck yeah, that rocks, man. That's wonderful. But, and I can relate totally. Like, sometimes you just need to just do it, you know. But yeah, nice to hear. Very nice to hear. Okay, so now I'm gonna be... I might regret this in the future, but I think change focus to game object. I think I'm gonna do something like this. Probably gonna regret this one. Focus game object. Eric Draven, PS, don't forget to make a VR port when you finish. So you mean this game? Maybe. Cypher 5, I'm a fucking senior estet now from doing manual testing for years. Damn, dude. Yep. That's what I mean. Very nice. Eric Draven, dope. Yeah, we will see. When we'll see. Yeah, the way I want to do this, I think, interact. Ooh, yeah. I think I want to do it like webcoder Amir, how to make games like PUBG. I'm web developer. Well, that is a broad question. Just do it, I suppose. Yusuf Af, can we see what you have done until now in the game? I'm not gonna show it off right now, but you can check my videos if you haven't already. And when I have this interaction in place, I might be able to show a little bit more. Okay, I'm thinking about creating two methods here. Virtual void. Interactable. Yeah, so I'm thinking about doing interaction type, interact by interaction type on game object. Should have just created a new method because we're gonna have one interact method that only takes an interactor as well, or interactable. Yeah, but there we go. So interact on game object with interaction type. Okay, so now it's a problem of this being single again. Because, let's see here. Interaction type game object. Can perform interaction contains key. Yeah, okay, so the problem here is we need an easy way to map. So interactor focus, there's really no interactable that supports focus right now. um, So I can't. Eric Draven, yo, have a blessed night. TC people. I don't know the last part, but you have a blessed night as well. Attakelenk, sorry about the pronunciation, but thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, so the step of making, like, let's say that we have interaction type, and game object. What we want to do here is we want to get all interactables of the game object, and then we want to check, does one of these suffice for this one? If so, send it into here. Eric Draven gonna drop in from time to time to see how it goes. Take care. Thank you, appreciate it. You too. Interactors. One way to do this, to simplify this, could also be to let, in a similar fashion like enemy entity has interactors here, animate entity that is, entity itself could have interactables. So maybe that's not such a bad idea. Ooh, maybe that's not a bad idea at all. But yeah, maybe. Interactor focus, interactable, interaction type.
Come on.
Even though we make entity, probably gonna have to implement some form of interactable that support focus. So we can get it in here. But let's see. Good morning, Ferda. How are you doing today? Much like the list of interactors in animate entity, I'm gonna wait a bit with this, but okay. For now, I'm gonna add a focus interactable. Good, nice to hear. What about you? Yeah, same here. I have a little bit of a better flow today compared to yesterday, so that feels good. Interaction, interactable, interactors. Although it feels kind of bad. This is basically just going to be a let's do it like this now. Focusable. Gonna have to think about that one. Focusable. Now we're gonna do interactable. Entity. Attribute functions. is it? Handle interaction. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. We're gonna take a look at this note later on. Yeah, but before I continue, this one will allow me to implement this one in a real nice way. But before I do that, I need to run AFK real quick. So be right back, a couple of minutes. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Let's take a look. So now this one should be... Let's see here. I also want to do... Focusable. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Virtual awake. So if we don't get this one, we add it. So pretty much force every entity to be focusable. A little bit of a hack right now, but let's see how it evolves over time. Okay, so interaction type. Here it pretty much tells the animate entity to interact in a certain way. And remember, in animate entity, the NPC brain is gonna the NPC brain is going to feed animate entity interactions to do and on what objects, while playable entity will be fed by the player. But playable entity will talk to its base class, or will use its base class functions. But yeah, so this is pretty much interaction type, game object, interactable. So this is actually pretty similar to what was done here. So interactables, game object get components interactable, where base get available interactor for type. And we want to do this a little bit differently. Animate entity, let's see. That's not how we're gonna do it. So we want to get all the interactables, but we want to do where I don't even know. Get components. I don't know if we want to do interact on this game object by this type. It's pretty much gonna look like interactable is equal to game object.get components interactable. So here we get all of them, but we just want to do, so I would like to do where, but get components first. Interactable interactable type, interaction type is equal to interaction type. Yeah. So that's pretty much what we're gonna do here. And then we just call interact with this interactable. And get available interactor for type. This is more going to be, let's see here. We're gonna can perform interaction, that's good. And Just interactor. Get interactor. Yeah. So I just want to get the interactor first. We don't care about if it's available. Get the interactor for this interaction type. So Keiru, hey, I fell in love with your screen space shader video, so happy to catch you one live. Thank you so much, appreciate it. And I'm glad to hear that it's appreciated, the videos. Get interactor. We're gonna do a lot of tests here, so if we want to interact with something, first of all, if interact, can I do, yeah, return. Or actually it's more gonna be like, yeah, we need to check this one first. And if interactor dot is ready to process interactable, or if it's not, then we return. But actually, let's see, interact. Ooh. Is ready to process. Interact, interactor, interact. This one. Interactor. Fuck me, that might actually be a good reason for that one as well. So I don't want to make whatever component is calling interact, I don't want to make that one have to check if it's ready to interact. So I'm probably gonna want to do that in interact itself. But my point still stands. I would like to keep an abstract so maybe we can do it like this: public abstract void process interaction interactable, or process interactable. So this is the abstract method. This one is nor virtual nor abstract. So not virtual nor abstract. It's just like this, and we do, I don't care, maybe want to return a bool here, but it's pretty much we're gonna do the check in here. So it's ready to process if is ready to process interactable. If it's not, we return, otherwise process interactable. Fuck yeah. Okay, so before we do an interaction, we always check this one. Now unfortunately we have to change this one, this one, and I'm gonna I'm gonna do it even more. I'm gonna make it even more pretty. Interactor, public abstract void, process interactable. No. We're gonna make this protected. Nice. So process interactable, then it's up to all the subclasses to process it the way they're supposed to process it. It's just up to the interactor based class to actually instantiate this process. And we are gonna change, we're gonna do some more stuff here. Interactor consume, or maybe process interactable, available processing, interactor pickup. Maybe not for now. This is nice enough. So interact, the only thing we check here is if it's null, if we don't have an interactor for this, then we return, but we don't need to check this anymore. We're just gonna do, might skip the early return here actually. Okay, so it's pretty much exactly how it was previously. I guess that's fine. Okay, this is nice. So this works with focusable as well. So interact, interaction type, game object. And this is so nice because in playable entity, when we need to listen to handler focus event, private void start, awake. Here I just do add listener base dot interact okay, maybe game object. Fuck, I would love to be able to do this. Or actually just I guess I could do it like add listener focus event. So what is it? Game object base dot interact interaction type dot focus game object, like this. So input handler has a focus event which triggers every time the player hovers the mouse over some game object. So even if or actually it triggers every update, and then it's going to be up to the interact here to handle different focused objects. So every time this one invokes its listeners, we will call this one. So base interact interaction type focus game object. So this one. So we just take the interactable from the game object and then we interact with it. Ooh, need to check this one as well. Interactor get interactor interactable. Yeah, we need an additional check here. Do we get interactor? Yeah. Okay, so now we secured that. So anyway, so every time the mouse pointer, or every frame, the mouse pointer will change or send whatever it's focusing on to playable entity, and a playable entity will call interact. So we will get the interactable from the object of this type, and we will interact with it. If it's null, we just return. Although, that's not true. Fuck me. That is not true. Because interactor we want to be able to handle null here. Because we want to be able to unfocus stuff. Ah, shit. Now we check null here, so that's okay. Everything should be okay. So null should be handled here, I think. No, because interaction type here. Fuck. First or default. We don't want to do this check, but interaction type. Yeah, so then it's more like we don't care about this. Interactor get interactor. Interaction type. if interactor interact with interactable, is ready to process. Unfortunately, here we check. Okay, if interactable is equal to null, return true. So this is a definition of, so every interactor should be able to process nothing independent of the internal state of them. I guess. So is ready to process returns true, process interactable, and then it's up to but that's also pretty dirty. Although this might be equal to I mean, process interactable, this could be equal to, so if interactable is null, then it might be like a stop signal, you know? So you could do it like it's ready to process. Is that a good assumption? Maybe. Do I want to handle it in here? Process interactable. Now we're probably gonna do it like this. Process interactable, protected, abstract, void, stop processing. So interact with interactable. If interactable is equal to null, stop, else. Stop processing. Protected, might want to make this public as well, but yeah, we'll see. And let's name it interactable. Just stop processing. So this is nice. So that means a null interactable should never enter process interactable. Right, it's ready to process, neither should it enter this one. But it can enter these. Okay, so that's nice. So then we go back to interactor focus. We don't need to check null here, but so this one is just basically gonna do this right now and stop. What did we have? Base.interactor state is equal to available and is equal to null. Okay. And okay, I think this is pretty nice. Right now I'm leaning towards adding a processed interactable. We're gonna add a event here, which outsiders can listen to, and that's gonna be like processed interactable changed. So playable entity will listen to this one for the focus interactable. So every time that gets triggered, playable entity is gonna populate the information display of what actions can be made depending on what interactors that triggered, I think. Okay, so interactors is basically gonna have two things that can trigger a... No, it's just gonna have one thing that can trigger. It's gonna have a interactor state changed trigger. So anytime the state changes, it triggers, and everything that listens updates its state, and so on. So Dashing Duo Gaming, what's up? How are you doing today? So that means that, let's see here. Let's take an example. So okay, we have interactor focus, interactor pickup, and interactor consume on a entity. So through animate entity, interactor focus gets called to change the interactable it focuses. Interactor focus will therefore change state. The state might actually go from processing to processing, but whatever. So it will trigger like an event, and interactor pickup listens to interactor focus because we need something to focus to be able to pick up. So then pickup checks, okay, the state changed for interactor focus. Did it change in such a way that I'm available? If so, interactor pickup changes its states from unavailable to available, which will trigger interactor consume, but interactor consume listens to interactor pickup for it having a processing state. So since interactor pickup just changed from unavailable to available, nothing changes in consumable. For playable entities, playable entity also listens to interactor pickup. No, it listens to all interactors, because as soon as a state changes there, if the state changes to available, we're gonna check if it's ready to process, and if it is, we are going to show the proper UI. That's basically the flow of it. Although yeah, it's gonna be a few ugly get all interactables in this flow, but if this one is implemented, it's gonna look way nicer. So plus to this one. Okay. Interactor state change. Available is, let's see here. Dashing do gaming, the fun thing watching a stream like this and the way you explain things makes me kind of understand what you're doing, and I love it. Thank you. Appreciate it. But it's far less complex and buggy. Yeah. Nice. Good luck with the game making. It's fun, but sometimes a little bit annoying, or frustrating is a better word for it. starting to love the interactor side of this and being skeptical to the interactable side of this. But yeah. Yeah, I'm using VS Code, but this note here is just a markup file I've created in my project and opened up. So it's a very nice solution, I think. And then I just split the view in two so I can have my notes to the right. Okay, but I definitely want signaling here, so interactor state, but I want to go with C# action. Let's see, what I'm looking for is attributes, attribute definition, attribute functions. I want to go with action, modify function. No. Okay, let's see. Oops. Cypher, I had an extension called pnotes and it didn't include in commits, but recently it started to, and I don't know how to change it. Super handy though, could have a project in global notes. Yeah, so that's basically the idea I do here. I don't think an extension really is needed. I mean, like for something simple as this, it isn't, but if you want to keep notes in the file, an extension could probably implement it in a very cool way. But I just added this note file. Where did I put it? I put it in scripts. There we have it. Implementation notepad.md, and the idea is to add this one to the git ignore. So when you have a git repository, you have a git ignore file where you can state which files should be ignored when you commit and stuff like that. And right now I haven't added this, but that should be an easy thing to do. I can't really understand why I haven't done something like this earlier. It's very nice to have a quick way to write notes. Okay, so I don't want to use Unity event. I want to use like C# event and listeners. Why can't I seem to recollect what? Oh, there we go. So event handler invoke this delegates. Let's see here, value change. Did I solve this with Unity event for now? Okay. Fuck it, let's do it with Unity event for now. Interactor state. Interactor state. Cypher, yeah, I didn't want to mess with the git ignore because it's... Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. Although... I should know this, but could you have a local git ignore? And then you have a master git ignore. So if you do local changes to git ignore but you don't push them. R&D fucking rocks, man. Like, lives will probably not be lost if you fuck up in R&D, right? Interactor state. Yeah, so I basically want to invoke this event anytime interactor state gets set. So let's do it like this. Protected interactor state. Might as well go with private interactor state and public interactor state, and here I want to have a get set. Do I need to define get? We just do yeah. Let's do it like this, and of course with one of those, and set is going to be a little bit more complicated. Good morning, Dark Summon. How are you doing today? And Yo Pud. Sorry about the pronunciation, and thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. So every time interactor state changes or gets set, I want to trigger public. Let's do it Unity event right now. Change event. And Dashing Duo Gaming, thank you as well, even though you've been with me on YouTube previously, I suppose. Dark Summon, I'm good, thanks. How's things with you? Beautiful. Yeah, it's pretty good here as well. I've had way more progress today than yesterday. Although I have a little bit of a sickness running in the family, so I'm gonna have to quit early today. And keeping my fingers crossed that I don't get sick. Joe Pud, nice to hear. Just followed, taking a quick look at this stream, trying to motivate myself to program again. Come on, man, you can do it. Yes, Dashing Duo Gaming. thanks to the multi-stream that is now available, or multicast, or whatever they call it these days. Dark Summons, yeah, that sucks indeed. I'm doing my best. Okay, interactor state change event, and set here interactor state change event dot invoke. But first I want to do interactor state is equal to, I think value is the correct one, yes. I've got to say this, maybe it will grow on me, but like I'm a big fan of this way to do things. Like every time this variable gets changed, invoke this, blah 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 blah, or do these extra steps, like having code like this in getters and setters. But the way I structure my files, it just looks messy, you know? Like you have variable definitions or member definitions, and then you have some actual logical code, and then you have some member definitions, and so on and so on. Yeah. Dashing Duo Gaming. The schools here in Sweden are all activating the classic stomach flu. I hate this period of the year. Knock on wood indeed. Yeah, my kid has luckily never had the stomach flu. I've heard that some people are immune to it. So I hope that's the case. Yo, put getters and setters in OP. Yeah, but it's more like including functionality in the getters and setters like this. It just looks messy, you know, instead of having a nice set of member variable definitions, you have some logic like all pushed in there. But yeah. Okay, interactor state available. And from here on out, actually we never want to call that one, right? State. So from here on out we're going to use this one instead, and we're going to do it here as well. Okay. Joe put, I guess you can't lie, or but I'm trying to keep it clean, but it's hard. Yeah, I appreciate it. Dashing Duo Gaming, I heard today around 20% of the world population is immune to it. Oh, the stomach flu. Damn. Imagine the luck being immune to it. Okay, so this means that every time an interactor states get changed, this one gets invoked. This is public, so anything can listen to it. And yeah, I want to do it like this, I think. Interactor. Yeah, this one is private. Okay, so that's beautiful. Okay, so interactors will listen on whichever interactor dependency they have for state changes, because then they will change if they're ready or not, I think. Interactor state changed. Okay. So the good thing is that this one will be invoked if we take interactor focus, so focusing something. If we call process interactable, then we set the interactor state to processing because we're currently processing in interactable. If we then call this function again but with a separate interactable, we will set it again, so we will trigger an event again, and I think that's okay. Although do I think that's okay? I think I'm gonna do this here actually. Stop processing. Yeah, we're gonna do it like this. So if I wonder if I want to do it like this. If ooh. Okay. I think I want to do it like this. Okay, so I just want to explain what I'm thinking here. So interactor focus will handle an entity's focus, whatever entity is focusing on. In the playable entities case, these will pretty much depend on, or like the playable entity will take input from the player. So the player will pretty much decide what the playable entity is focusing. And the way it does that, like I mentioned earlier, is playable entity adds a listener to focus event in input handler. And that is pretty much interact type focus game object. And this one triggers currently every frame. So whatever this one triggers, and the game object here is whatever game object the mouse pointer is currently selecting. So if we get to interactor focus here, that means that this one is going to be called for the playable entity every frame. And if this one doesn't change, we don't want to do anything. But if it changes, we need to do something. First of all, we need to stop focusing the previous interactable and start focusing the new one. So an easy way to do this could be if interactable is equal to base dot processed interactable return. If it's not, we just set the interactor state to processing again, and we set the processed interactable to the new interactable. The only problem with this is that we just throw away whatever interactable we focused on previously. And I do think that I want to do stuff with that before we unfocus it. So we're gonna change the flow a tiny bit here. Let's see, Yopod. The main reason I lost motivation for programming is because I learned it at a college, not self-taught. and I never learned how to call and create function. It's kind of limiting me. I can relate a bit. So when it comes to programming generally, I was taught at a college as well, or university. And like I've always liked to create stuff. So if the purpose of the programming just is to, if it's just to solve certain tasks, then I don't find it to be that fun. But if it's towards building something, that's where I get my motivation from. If that makes any sense. Like if I'm just mindlessly solving programming tasks with programming, then I don't get that much joy out of it. But if I'm at the same time building something I like, then it's way better. What's up? I'm Cynic. How are you doing today? Cypher, I made my first function the other day. Wow, congratulations, man. All good, working but lunch now, so watching you. Ah, nice, appreciate it. Although I'm sorry to say, but I have to run in about 30 minutes. Gotta take care of my child today because of sickness. Or actually, it turned out he wasn't that sick, but anyway. Yeah, but I will be back tomorrow. I'm Cynic. So what I want to do here is actually, if interactable is equal to process interactable, then we just return. If it's not, then I want to do some stuff before I do this. I actually want to do stop processing. Because if I do that before I change this, then the interactor state will change before the processed interactable is reset, which means that whomever is listening to state change can process the previously processed interactable. I like this flow, but I'm also a little bit afraid of it. This could be the cause of so many hard to find bugs in the future, I suppose. Like, if I forget that the execution order here is important and I do this, then the whole purpose gets nulled. Dark Summon, I can't believe you're picking your family over us. I'm sorry, man, I'm sorry. Sakeru, thank you so much for the follow, appreciate it. But I think this is a nice way to do it. So if interactor focus gets told to focus on something new, then we stop the current process and then we begin the new process. But in a similar vein as this, it's probably good. So we set it first and then start processing. The order of processed interactable set and the order of processed interactable and interactor state sets are very important. Important. Okay, let's see if I can manage to do this before I have to run. But so now focus should be okay. We call focus here all the time. So now I just want to add a listener to focus. And I think I want to do it like this. Animate entity, interact, get interactor. We're gonna do public void add listener to interactor. Interaction type. What is it? Unity action. Add listener to interactor. If can perform interaction yeah, let's call it that. Else get interactor type dot interactor state change event plus equal to action. Can do it, or actually it's add listener action. Can I do it like this? Yeah. Listener to interactor. Fuck it, let's worry about that later on. Let's see, I'm Cynic. Found this package called Xnode yesterday, using it to build my procedural animation system. Have you seen it before? Xnode, is it Unity specific? Is this the same? Let's see here. I like GitHub, so Thor Brigstead. Let's see. Yeah, beautiful. So this one, right? Ah, I get it. So it's like a basis for creating your own node-based implementations, or like nodifying your systems in your game. Okay, so this is very nice. Exactly. You make your own nodes, which can do whatever you want. Yes. Oh. I might look into this one. Wow, nice. I've never seen that before. Thanks for mentioning it. Definitely gonna check that out in more detail. Okay, add listener to interactor, playable entity. Because what I want to do here is base dot add listener to interactor, interaction type dot focus, and the action is private void show user interface phase 4. But we're just gonna call it update user interface for now. Maybe, yeah. So this function is going to be this one that, so add listener to interactor, so interaction type focus. Probably need to change the name of this one as well. But basically what I'm doing here is I'm just binding some function to listen on as soon as the interactor focus does something, then I want to get notified so we can change the user interface. So basically playable entity is going to listen to this one and show information to the player what he or she can do based on the focus state changes, basically. Let's see here, I'm cynic. No worries, tested it yesterday and fell in love. You will put a lot of time on making notes, but when they are done you can iterate extremely fast. Yeah, very nice. It looked clean, like the way they had implemented it with the hard parentheses input output. Very nice. Let's see, D Sabbath, you can use Unity's own node system too, the one that is used for shader graph. Can you extend it or something like that? Or what exactly do you mean? Like, could I use Unity's node system for creating my own node system, like the Unity node UI, that is? That would be pretty sick. I think Unity's blueprint thing is quite limiting. Okay, so it does exist, but it's not as elaborate or nice to use as Xnode. D-Sabbath, yeah, it gives you all the APIs required to create your own nodes. Fuck, that's great. Like, I'm one of those guys that the threshold for me to start using something third party is quite big. But if the positives are enough, then I can think about doing it, if that makes any sense. Diligence Humility. Yeah, I know it has its own node system. I just didn't know it was available to utilize for your own node libraries. Yopud, okay, heading off now. I'll see you another time. Thank you for stopping by. Have a great one. Update user interface. Oof, I like the look of this. And that's where we're gonna keep all of this. Hope this works on the first run. So interactor, focus interactor, I suppose. Might want to have a check here, but since we're listening to it, we only call this one by listening. It shouldn't be null, but you never know. D Sabbath, I'm with you with the usage of third-party assets, except for do, tween, and unitask. I've never used unitask, but I've dabbled a little bit with do, tween, and do, tween is amazing. So, if focus interactor, let's see here. Ooh, it depends on what state it is in. Displayer. So that's pretty much what I want to do. Do I want to check? So I want to listen here. If interactor, like if it stopped processing, I want to hide the information. If it started processing, I want to show it. It's very dependent on the order of this. So it's going to be focus interactor, if focus interactor dot do we have is in state or something like that? Is in state or is processing. Okay, this one checks for specific interactable. Or wait, I can send in is processing. If this one is null, we return true. Yeah, is processing. If it is processing, we want to do something else. If focus interactor dot is available dot, fuck it, let's do, I want it to look nice, so we're gonna check is in state. Yeah, that's all we care about. So focus interactor dot is in state processing. else if is in state available. If it's unavailable, I don't think I care. So if it's available here, I want to check if focus interactor dot interactable or processed protected. Why can I do it like this? Oh, we don't need. What is the reason for me is processing? I might want to do some minor changes here, but focus interactor is, or processed interactable is not equal to null. Then I want to do whatever we did here. Star Platinum, what's up? Yeah, I'm good. And you? How are you doing today? So first of all, I just want to do this. Focus interactor dot processed interactable dot this is all, it's not extremely pretty, but so we want to get the information display right now. Going to call it information displayer. Dot game object. And here's the thing. So right now, all interactables, right now, information displayer is every object that is a information displayer. Has its own UI element, and that is not how it's going to be down the road. Like, all UI element will be pretty much controlled by playable entity. But with the current implementation, we're doing this. I'm Cynic, you're doing game dev full time? No, part time. With a dream of going full time, of course. A Star Platinum, I'm good. I'm still deving too. What are you doing today? Nice to hear. Good luck with your deving. So right now, simplifying and implementing the interaction system. Pretty much this. And then hide. Alright, that's what we're gonna do for now. Information displayer dot hide. So we listen to focus here. If the state is in processing, then we want to show information. If the state is available and the processed interactable is not null, that means that we have changed, or we are about to let go of a processed interactable. So then we want to hide that information. Organized with a notepad and everything, pro game dev. On the road at least. If I can't even like, my current feeling is, why the fuck haven't I done something like this previously? So nice just to be able to write something here. Don't even have to tab, you know. Don't even have to switch window. You can just move over here and start writing. How you got VS Code to work with Unity? Had a lot of issues with it. It never found the stuff like model. Oh, yeah, I've been there as well. I'm cynic now. I'm going to start having notes as well. Yeah, I fucking recommend it. I've only been doing this one day, but dude, it's great. Cypher, wait till you find the Unity Docs VS Code extension. Oh, yeah. I actually downloaded offline documentation. I just haven't gotten around to setting it up. It's gonna be amazing. But I'm cynic. When you like the question about how to get VS Code to work with Unity, I remember having troubles as well, but Google helped me out. Unfortunately, there seems to be a lot of people having that problem, and the solutions are many. Like, yeah, many and different. Okay, so if it's not, if we have processing here, we want to check this one as well, I think. So we might as well do... Let's do it like this. If focus interactor dot processed interactable is equal to null, then we return as well. So then we don't need to check this one in these. I'm gonna be so happy if this works first try, because I really have to go soon. And I don't want to start tomorrow's streams by bug searching or debugging. That would suck. So basically what I want to do here first of all is set information, get component. No, I just want to show it. Information display. Okay, so this, it's also similar. So fuck it, let's just do information displayer hide, information displayer show. But is this everything? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, let's try this. Playable entity. I think this is way nicer than this, but we will see. I'm a little bit nervous about this one. Okay, let's see. Cypher should do a dev diary video of your setup. Yeah, maybe. I'm cynic. I will try Google. Literally just opened VS Code and saw too much red and closed it again. Yeah, that sucks. Dark Summon, I have to jump on a call, so I'll probably miss you leaving again. So I'll say bye and good luck now. Hope you and the family stay healthy. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for dropping by, Dark Summon. Always appreciated. Have a great rest of the day, and good luck on the call. Okay. Fuck, am I ready to test this? Or do I want to start tomorrow's stream by testing this one? Do I want to leave you on a cliffhanger? Decisions. Nah, I've always hated cliffhangers myself. Yeah, I agree. I'm cynic. I hate cliffhangers too. Some of my favorite TV shows are actually shows that don't utilize cliffhangers that much. Like, I remember... I fucking hate cliffhangers. Let's just put it like that. So let's try this. Let's see. I think I got about 5 or 10 minutes. Character 01 prefab. This one has an entity, but it doesn't have a focus, interactor focus. But the entity should, or the playable entity should add a interactor focus. So that should be. Let's just see if we get any crashes here. Okay, no crashes. That's good. Crashes. But I want to check one thing. Focus. Ooh. Okay, so what is the issue here? Object reference not set to an instance of an object. Animate entity 48. Interaction type, game object, get components. So is it this one that is null? Oh yeah, it can be. Ooh. Okay, that's something that needs to be checked, definitely. I don't want to just return, that's for sure. Kobe VR, what are you doing this on? What do you mean by that? I'm cynic. My shows are the ones that do next episode comes next week. Fucking hate those. What do you mean? Like TV shows that release one episode each week? You don't like that? You like the Netflix model of releasing one season in one go. But then people don't create the same buzz. Yeah, I appreciate both. I remember like the last TV series I followed on a weekly basis was... What the fuck was it? House of the Dragon, maybe? Is that so? Yeah, I think so. But I remember it being like every Monday evening was a little bit of a special event, you know. A new episode, maybe a bottle of wine. But then I'm also fond of the memories, like when Netflix released a new TV series, one whole season, you know. A whole Saturday or Sunday just laying in the couch watching it. Pros and cons. Okay, so if it's null, I want to do... Then we basically want to do... we want to do I interactable is equal to... interactable is equal to null. If game object is not equal to null, then we change interactable. Okay. Because I do want interactables to be able to be null when it's sent. Okay, no errors, that's good. And no focus display. Why? Oh well. I'm assuming that's true actually. When I think about it, it's kind of nice that you have something to look forward to. Pros and cons, as you said. Yeah. Yeah, I don't watch that many new TV series these days. Like, it feels like there's a lot of them, and most of them doesn't have that much quality to them. These days it feels like I more often rewatch old TV series than I watch new ones. I'm like on my 4th or 5th rewatch of The Wire right now. Fucking love that TV show. Okay, so why don't we get a focus here? It's unfortunate because there might be... Oh, I know, I think. Playable entity. We never get a focus interactor, but that's weird. Animate entity. Yeah. We don't add it, right? So I want to do interactor focus, interactors, interactor focus, interactor state change event. I do want to hide this one in the editor. I don't want to show it here. But now we have interactor focus here. Oh my god, it works. Jesus! Like, that wasn't a lot of bugs. Character 01 prefab interactor focus interacting with item consumable Apple prefab. What the fuck? This is nice. Okay, so we're back at where we were at the start of the stream, but with such a better system behind it all. Okay, so tomorrow's stream is gonna start on a good note. Beautiful. Yeah, we want to fix this as well. But I'm gonna fix that tomorrow. Epic indeed. Okay, so now it feels like I actually have a great foundation. So tomorrow is gonna be amazing. Question before you leave. Yes, shoot. I'm listening. Wow, this is great. What you use to make your videos. So as far as video editing software goes, I'm using DaVinci Resolve, which I can't recommend enough. Like, it's first of all, it's free, and second of all, it's like I think it's the best video editing software I've used. It's free, yeah, so that's amazing. So my video editing software is DaVinci Resolve, and then I utilize, so for voice recording it's Audacity or Audacity, I don't know exactly how to pronounce it. Video editing is DaVinci Resolve, and then I do a lot of custom animations, and some of them I actually do in Unity itself, and some of them I do in Blender. The plan is actually next month, so in February, to actually stream some of the devlog making. I just need to get my animation, like I have this little library I've made in Unity. I just need to fully implement it, and then I might stream some devlog making. But yes, unfortunately, it's time for me to go. Exactly. But yes, I will be back tomorrow, continuing this interaction system. Now we're actually moving forward. I'm very happy about it. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, everybody, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow. and have a great rest of the day. Peace.